All right, I happened to get this message from an Indian who's based in Dubai. Obviously, I'll not reveal his identity, but I'll read out his message, what he sent me. And this is a very strong warning to all those Indians who are based in UAE. Just be careful if you take a loan from a bank. The problem is these banks, no, the way they give you loans is like distributing free chocolates to children, or just like you're just throwing popcorn. Anyone wants you want popcorn, you want popcorn. There's nothing. Like I always tell people, there's no free lunch, and especially in UAE where everything has, it's a business hub. If they give you something, there is a hidden agenda, there is a hidden cost, there are hidden charges. And where financial instruments are concerned, especially in the banking industry, you would be a fool. That is why I've always told you in my previous videos, when there is this sale or buy now, pay later, or, even cars, you can take home a car, don't pay for 6 months, pay after 6 months, or even Virgin those days, when I was in Dubai 10, 12 years ago. Buy a laptop and you can pay in 6 months or 2 years, or even Etisalat for that matter gives you, take this iPhone and pay just the internet and call charges. Everything looks as if they're giving you a deal of a lifetime, but there are a lot of hidden charges. There are a lot of, fine print that you do not read. Like, for example, especially when you cancel your subscription in between, then you are paying a bomb. You'll end up paying whatever you paid, you lose, and then you'll have to pay extra. And keep this in mind. This is one very important logic which I want to tell you. The salesman of a bank, his job is to sell. He doesn't care whether he gives you the right information or wrong information, because you wouldn't know what to ask. If you say, are there hidden charges? No, sir, there are no hidden charges. Is there anything in the fine print? He'll say no. Well, you expect him to say, yes, sir, there are a lot of hidden charges. We charge secretly. We charge late payment fees. We charge, transfer charges. We charge you interest charges. He'll never tell you that, because his job is to get the sale, get his commission, secure his job. He's insecure about his job himself. So anyway, this is what the guy has told me. I'll read out his message, but obviously I'll not give you the names. He said, brother, good evening. I was watching your YouTube video about jobs in Dubai. I've worked in Dubai for 12 years now. I want you to make a video on the loot by Islamic banks in UAE. He's given the bank name. I'll not give the name of the bank. My friend took a loan of, he has given an amount of, I'll not say the amount because then they can track. Let's say, for example, roughly, I want you to imagine 100,000. Okay, let's give it a round figure, 100,000. During COVID, he lost his job. He joined two other companies, but they didn't pay him salaries for 3 months, which is a very common phenomenon, which I've told you so many times in my videos. There are companies that don't give you a salary on time, especially if you're working on a visit visa or not on an employment visa. And if the guy has good connections, or he's a bad guy, he can destroy your life. He can literally make you go to court, and even if he's guilty. By the way, want to make one thing very clear. This does not mean all the companies in Dubai are bad. This doesn't mean all the employers, all the all the individuals are bad. I'm just giving you the cautionary side, which cannot be publicly stated. Okay. I have my family members, I have my friends, I have clients, I have contacts. I myself was in Dubai. I lived there for 40 years. So I'm highlighting these cases so that you know that there is also a side which you never read in the papers. Okay. So he didn't get paid. Then after 6 months of no job, he finally went back to his home country in India. He had paid almost 80% of the loan. But when he got an offer, he checked with the bank if they filed any case. He got a new job offer with a better salary. They said, no, don't worry, we have not filed any case. You can just come back and pay the money. All right. In between, the bank engaged a recovery agent to collect the money. My friend was also making payments from India. Even the full and final settlement amount went to the bank. Everything was done. And he was happy that he paid the full amount, and now he had to sign the dotted line and say that everything is done, close. So I can't get the name of the letter, but yeah, I think it's a no objection, especially for travel. If you have taken a loan, so the bank cannot make any claims. I myself took the letter when closing the accounts that I don't owe them anything. This I did before leaving UAE for good, because banks are very sinister. Remember, even if you take a credit card or debit card or whatever, and there is zero point zero 0.01 left to make the payment, 0.01, they can magically multiply that and say, oh, he didn't pay 0.01. We'll charge him 150 dirhams for late payment fees, 150 dirhams for not paying on time, 150 dirhams for transfer fees. Example I'm giving you. So all of a sudden, at 0.01 has become like 500 dirhams. Okay. And then the next month, they will charge you on the 0.01 plus the 500, and they'll come up with a new number. I'm just giving you an example. And you might be wondering, from where the hell did I get these numbers and how do I know all this? I was working in a bank myself. Okay. Banks are not there for your benefit. Banks are there for their benefit. Okay. And they have to make money somehow. And if they know that you are not informed, ill-informed or whatever, and they can squeeze the money out of you, trust me, they will. Okay. So here it seems that he paid the entire money. Okay. And he just had to sign the dotted line with the bank. He went to Dubai thinking that he can pay back any balance amount that was pending. By the way, before I left to Thailand, I made sure I left some amount of money in my account. Like, even though I closed the account, I could have taken everything and made it zero. I left 100, so that if in case any charge, anything was there, they could deduct it, take it as charity. Okay. He went back. There's a little discrepancy here. He says that he paid everything and he had to sign. Then he says pay back the balance amount. So I suppose what he's trying to say is there was a small amount left. Okay. But to his shock, the bank had filed a case against him, and he found this only after entering the UAE. And once upon entering the UAE, once it showed up in the immigration that this guy is back in town, the case became active and he was banned from leaving UAE. Now he couldn't go back to India, and because of all the legal complications, it seems it affected his job. He finally went to the bank for a settlement. He was ready to make the payment and settle because he didn't intend on cheating the bank. And he informed them that due to the COVID situation, he had come back to India. The bank bounced his guarantee check that was given to him at the time of taking the loan, which in turn made him criminally liable. And also, once a check is bounced, there also you get charged. Some banks charge $500 extra if your check is bounced. So now he had to not only pay the amount for all these charges, he also had to pay extra value. When he spoke to the manager finally, they agreed that he has to pay a new amount. That is, for example, before it was 100,000, now he has to pay 80,000. I find this really shocking because it just doesn't make sense. If you had 100,000 and you paid the majority and only 20,000 was there, how did they go back to 80,000? Unless, of course, he didn't pay for 4-5 years, then yes, there is a possibility, very strong possibility. Because the bank always takes the principal amount. And remember, when you pay back a loan, first they deduct the interest. They don't deduct the principal amount. The bank asked him to pay the amount. And in turn, what this guy did is he filed a case against the bank, which he found out that he was on the losing end, which I've told you before. Do not make a court case against a company or a legal entity, or especially a bank. They have resources which you cannot match. They have the ability to employ the who's who in the legal world. This guy made a very big mistake by taking the bank to court, and the bank counterfiled, and then he realized he was losing money. So he tried to negotiate, and the bank said, okay, you have to withdraw the case that you put against us. And he did so. So he withdrew the case. But now when he went to pay the amount again, he found out that he had to pay a much bigger amount. From 80,000, now they increased it to 96,000. Sure. Then then my friend understood that the bank was trying to play around with him. He inquired, now what should be done? He asked people who knew what Islamic banking is all about. That's a problem. Islamic, when you put religion into the mix, it can be anything. And over there, he later on realized that there are quite a number of people from UK, US, Europe, Asia, who have gotten into this trap of so-called Islamic banking. And since there was no one to complain about and the court would not entertain the case again, and neither could he get out of UAE, now he's completely trapped. I think this will be the same case with all the Arab countries. There are some law firms and consultants who told him that they would help him get a solution. He trusted them, ended up paying them money, and there also he lost money. See, this is the problem. Once you hit rock bottom, then it's all shit from down there. As of now, 6 months have passed, nothing has happened. He is trying to recover the money through insurance. He had insurance also. There also he could not get it. He is trying to borrow money from other people. Nobody is helping him. I can give you the evidence if you need. I don't need the evidence. I just take your word on it. But given the fact that I don't want to name any particular bank, I have not stated the name. The court will appoint now a surveyor who will find a payable amount, but the surveyors are bank people who always write in favor of the banks. I didn't know that. Okay. The court proceedings are always in Arabic. All the lawyers, the judges, everyone speaks in Arabic. Most of the affected people are people who do not know how the law works. Please make a video on this and inform other people to be careful. Like I've always told you, there's no free money. Do not take a loan, which I've told you by default. And once you take the loan, make sure that you clear it before leaving. That is one of the biggest mistakes he did. He didn't clear the loan before leaving. He left a mark. And on that tiny amount, they kept multiplying, and now he is stuck. My only solution is, because he has taken them to court and because he has dug himself deeper in a hole, just borrow from someone, pay the whole amount. You can sell your land, you can sell gold, whatever, and get out of UAE and never come back. So if you have any better solution, I would love to hear. But like I said, you're not a citizen of the country. Don't take the legal route. Don't invest into anything where you can't claim, and biggest one of all, never borrow. All right. That's what I had to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Good, bad, ugly. And yeah, if you have any such problems, share those videos, share the message with me. I'll make a video. You guys take care. It's me signing off. Yalla, bye.